We're live.
Hey, everybody. We're 2 minutes early, by the way.
2 minutes early.
No, we're not.
Yeah, according to my clock, we're 2 minutes early.
Yeah, so we'll probably wait a minute till people come on.
Let's wait another 2 minutes. Let's look.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's just pretend we're the screen that's hiding.
Okay, dad joke of the day, folks. I tried this on everyone just before I came on. Is who's on here?
Well, there's the four of us.
Oh dear. Two.
Wait,
watching.
is there no one on?
Three watching. Jill's on. Oh.
Jill's
There you
on.
go.
I swear to God, we're live. Hello.
We are live.
Well, we are live. Otherwise, Jill wouldn't have been able to reply.
Oh yeah, no, there's a few people, but we're early, so it's gonna take a minute,
Yeah.
dude.
I swear to God, my computer says 8 o'clock and this counted down to 0.
It's lying.
You can get these cloths for cleaning your glasses.
Or you could switch from an analog to a digital. It's always easier.
Mhm.
Oh, well, for those people who are here, I just tried it on everyone here. Who's in the house here? We got Jill. Hey, Jill. Hey, Bleak. Hey, Redbeard. Sandra. That's it.
For now, dude, we started early, dude. Just wait.
Didn't start early.
We started.
Swear
2
to
minutes
God, it said
early.
40 seconds left. Okay, I'm going to end the broadcast and No, I'm not.
No. We're supposed to start in 1 minute now.
Yeah,
We're
you probably.
Am I really seriously? I swear to God, it
serious.
says 8 o'clock here.
2 minutes. Oh, it's that
Whoever-
time. Dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Night in Canada.
Yay!
Woo! Mikey's here. Let Mikey eat it. He'll eat anything.
Including your humor. So let's hear the joke.
Did I just age myself by saying that? Don't answer that. That was rhetorical. Did you hear about the rhetorical joke?
No. No.
We were just waiting for the joke. And it was
Still
dead.
going around. I don't know.
All right.
It's gonna be one of those nights. Sweet. I'm vibing.
Here, I'm going to say it again. These guys heard it before, but for the other people that just joined in, I'm going to kick it off with, did you hear about the guy who invented the knock knock joke? Yeah, he won the Nobel Prize.
Nice. Dad joke nailed. Oh, you guys want to hear something interesting, by the way? So I was doing my stupid little live stream today, and we got some news from one of the crew members who I know all you guys love.
Oh, are you going after Imran again? Are you going to go after Imran again?
SM Diecast started his own channel. You know the young guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
that's
that.
what I was.
Is that the same guy?
Sorry?
Is that the same guy? Is my
SM Diecast, that high school student.
He's got SM Finance now.
Yeah. Oh, SM Finance. Yeah. So he's kicking butt and taking names. And no, did you see the joke I made within an hour? I had the T-shirt done. It's Ifran Scam Survivor. It's out there now. You'll see it. Anyway,
made the shirt.
I made the shirt. It was crazy.
Oh, I heard you going on about that guy. I was like, what's going on?
Oh my gosh, he was trying so hard. He was sending me Well, let's not even get into it. But on live, he was going nuts. But yeah.
Yeah, you got him. You spent a good 15 minutes with him on that.
Oh, I love catching them. When I catch them in the act, it's almost like it gets me going. I loved it. It
well,
awesome.
Darren has had his time. It's now Imran's time.
It's now Ifran. Yeah.
Is it Ifran or Imran?
Ifran.
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 Ifran. How do you spell that?
IFRAN.
Okay. Ifran.
So he probably hates me now, but
does he come on this show?
I have no clue. He's not on our Facebook. I think he came in for the quick 5 and yada yada and then bailed. But anyway,
in other words, Ifran is short for if caught, he ran.
Oh, done. So about the Fed today, getting back on.
Yes, let's hear from the lady in waiting up in the top right.
Whoa, about the Fed?
Well, you've got it going.
I know I've got the podium. All right. In a nutshell, for those who have not watched or been paying attention to what's going on, the Fed did exactly what they said they were going to do today. They raised it by 50 basis points. So that works out to half a percentage point. What is nice is they also let us know that they're looking at for next month, because there's been a rumor that they were going to go maybe 75 basis points next time. But Powell made it pretty clear that that's not going to happen, that we're probably looking at another 50. So they're not quite as hawkish as people were thinking, and obviously the market has responded to this. But keep in mind, whenever you run into this type of thing, you will almost always, you'll see the market dip at the news. And then when the hike comes through, people will feel a little bit better. The market will recover for about a week, and then it will usually fall again. Just that tends to be. Go ahead.
And this exact same thing happened last time too, because he came on. But this is the thing too, and we could almost trade on this going forward, given how many rate hikes are going to come down the road now. But every time he opens his mouth, what do we expect him to say? America's toast. The world's in flames. Like, we're doing our best, guys. I'm out. Like, he has a way of totally making us feel good every time he talks. Candace nailed it. Like, I was asking this question as a poll on my stream today. Most people thought this would bring up a short-term rally in May. Most people, it was 60% for like about 90 votes. But I totally agree with Candace on the bump. Like, are you feeling, Candace, then that this is going to be like, so you're obviously, if I heard you correctly, you're thinking it's going to be a false rally?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I was watching Ryan today, and I'm listening to. I've got a free subscriptions to Sirius XM or whatever it is, so I'm listening to Fox Business in the car this morning and stuff like this. And I'm thinking, I'm listening to all aspects, all point to this, and my mind starts wandering, thinking, did the government and the Fed not get us into this pickle? And now they're trying to get us out. Now they're trying to get us back into it. Now they're trying to get us back out of it. Now they're trying to get us back into it. And they're manipulating basically the whole financial system. Or is that just me?
I think that might just be you.
Oh,
I mean, I think it's
yeah. Sorry,
no, go ahead. I was going to say, I just think it's a situation that when the illness came down the line, they made some choices. They decided how they were going to combat it. And by printing money, all of the lockdowns, which led, of course, to the supply chain issues. I mean, when you take China, when China locks down a city and nobody's even allowed to leave their apartments, you're not going to have anything moving in the ports. So this, I think, the world in itself, and this probably starts with every government, they took a very, very harsh approach. It's almost like saying, oh, we got a small fire, let's burn down this patch of woods. By taking a strong approach to it, they probably did get the illness under control, but at the same time, they put everybody's finances into the situation that we're in, and now they're digging their way out of it. Is it the right way? Only history is going to tell us whether all of these strategies are going to work. But obviously with inflation, a lot of the stuff related to the supply chain, with people not going to work and with China still doing crazy lockdowns, the rate hikes are not going to fix those. Those are going to need another solution, as in people going back to work, as in China saying, okay, it's not so bad. We'll let people leave their apartments and, go to the ports.
It's so true that the rate hike is such a domestic issue. Because globally, too, with the US dollar losing relevance, especially in the East, it impacts the global markets less and less every single freaking day. You have these rate hikes, and there are going to be a lot of them. Now, this was a risk I thought of, though, too, because America and Canada, whatever, we haven't really, and the world, I guess you could say, I don't know what the supply chain's like in Europe, so I don't want to comment. But we haven't really felt the impacts of the Chinese lockdown just yet. So that's going to come. So this is really just us feeling out the war, which seems like it started 2 months ago, whatever. It's been a while, right? That's what we're kind of just feeling now. When he locked himself into a no way, Jose, we're doing a 3/4 point rate hike. When he locked himself into that, it really left him in a position where if something were to happen and he had to reverse, the reaction would be 10 times worse, right? That would be my only thing. Is I liked the takeaway that he said he's not going to do it. So hopefully that his front loading of a half point, then 2/4 points, or even maybe a third half point, like hopefully that works. But because he was so stubborn and trying to be positive, again, that's why we shot up today, canceling out that rug pull fear. If that were to reverse, that would be the only risk, is because we haven't really seen China yet. And he kept saying, and we've noticed this, I'm sure Candace has noticed, everyone who looks at the numbers notices this, that flattening of the curve for inflation, especially now since inflation's been going on long enough that our year-over-year numbers, the gap's going to kind of get shorter or smaller simply because the inflation was already high at that point last year. So these numbers are going to give a quasi kind of fake reading on the market.
Oh yeah.
But
And what Ryan is saying there is absolutely true. If he were to reverse and all of a sudden next month come out with a 75, you're going to need a safety harness and a really long rope to get down to buy the dip. That's how far down it'll be.
Really?
if they do
See,
that,
and that and myself, see, I go to really, really, really stupid places sometimes thinking, we had everything, well, not everything, but we had, a little bit of our portfolio and self-directed stuff. We amalgamated that with stuff from Nancy's RRSP, gave it to Dominion Securities. And I'm thinking, I could probably pull, if I was directing it myself, I could pull that quicker than Dominion Securities would, because at the end of the day, they still don't want us to lose money, but they're still there to make money. Do you know what I mean? And as you say, Candace, if it dips that low, that's the time I want control. Right? And
Warren Buffett's on his biggest buying spree ever.
Sorry, say that again.
Warren Buffett's on his biggest buying spree ever in the last couple of weeks alone. If you have the money, dollar cost averaging into companies like Apple and Microsoft, who has experienced some of the biggest falls you've ever seen, look, it might go lower, but in 5 years, it's not going to matter to you. Like at the end of the day, you dollar cost average, you get down and dirty. These prices, dude, are going to be so actually getting to your point, Tim, maybe Candace and Ken can answer this. Do you guys find yourselves guilty lately of trying to time this market? Because I've been saving cash forever, a lot of which I spent on taxes, but now I'm starting to build a lot back up. And it's like, I've got all this cash, but here I am sitting here waiting for something. I don't know when it's going to happen. I feel like it's going to happen. I have no clue when. It could be a year from now. Do you guys find because I find I'm guilty of it, and I'm wondering if I'm falling into a trap. Is that something you guys are feeling or noticing or avoiding?
Yeah, they always say time in the market is better than timing the market. And I think that's true, because if you wait too long for a dip, you may get your dip, but your dip may be higher than where it's at right now today.
But that's the thing in this current, well, for sure. But in this current market, I don't know if the dip on Apple is.
I would honestly say DCAing at this point wouldn't be a bad idea. Like while we're down now, put some of your money in, so at least some of it is in, and then if you don't get your dip, at least you're gonna have that profit from the stuff that you did put in now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the safest way to do it for sure. I find myself totally trying to time, it seems like, and it's a little bit on the riskier side. Whereas dollar cost averaging alleviates all stress in your life. You'll have no gray hair, and you're not going to check your SH every 5 seconds. But
plus, as you said, you DCA now and then go back and look at it 5 years from now, and you're going to have a smile on your face.
And that's what I mean, is because like half of us, Apple's sitting at 150. So what? I'm going to wait until it hits 120. What the hell does the $20 per share? I know that's a lot if I'm a millionaire and all that, but if we're the average folk DCAing in, realistically, we're talking about nickels and dimes at the end of the day.
Look at Tesla as well. I mean, they were down to almost 800 earlier in the week, and they're now back up to 940.
Tesla is becoming, there are certain stocks that I kind of love for the channels that they trade in. Like Amazon had a day trade channel that I loved it. The day trade channel with Amazon was a year long. Standard Lithium. Remember that old school stock that we used to talk about? Yes. Standard Lithium's channel from $7.50 to $12 is so reliable, it's ridiculous. Tesla's becoming one of those things that right around 800 all the way to around 1050, cycle in and out. I don't know. I'm noticing. Oh, and that's another thing. Are you guys noticing that with other stocks, or is that just me? Maybe certain stocks are plateauing. I don't know. Because I'm noticing these channels are starting to open up quite a bit, and I'm getting tempted sometimes when
I just think right now there's not enough stability for you to really start playing some of these channels, because there's just too much moving right now still. So I think I probably want to just see things get a little more stable before I start looking at playing any channels. Because,
that's fair.
It's hard to bounce off a ceiling when the ceiling's moving.
I know. And that's the thing is you almost get greedy when things are like this volatile, because you see opportunities popping up every 30 seconds. But I get what you mean.
But that's the thing too. Even when I am playing a channel and the channel is perfectly stable, I'm still not waiting till I get to the top of the channel. I usually will do my sell within about between 5 and 10% of that top. And the same thing with the bottom.
Yeah.
I wonder what the difference is about an investor who is investing these days with access to all the different social media types, all the technical analysis, all this and this and this and this, right? Compared to that person who basically was an investor in the 70s who had maybe a banker and a newspaper to go with and didn't do anything until the morning of.
There's
Because they made millions back
Yeah.
then, right?
Yeah.
Now there's too much false information out there, right?
Yeah, like
So
information is
that's-
like the
Yeah.
like our poison is almost information
Yeah.
because
So
of like Ken's
you
point.
got to be able to hone your skill to cut through all that FUD. Because
Yeah.
if you don't, you will get wrecked, or you'll get stuck in a trap where, you know what, I got to get out. I got to get out at a loss, try and make it up again somewhere else, right? And that's the difference between now and say 30 or 40 years ago.
Yeah, like right now, you could quite literally sit down and watch 10 videos on Bitcoin in a row, and 3 or 4 times you'll want to completely sell everything you have, and 4 or 5 times you'll want to invest more in it. So that's
You'll have 5 of those people saying sell, you'll have 5 of those people saying buy, and you're just like,
Well, I mean, even CNBC, dude, it's hilarious. I'll have it on a live stream one day. They'll bring on one guy who says, sell all your SH, get it. I mean, clear the house. Another guy's like, you're insane. I'm loading the boat on SoFi. And then you get the X one who's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Doesn't look good, though. And it's like, no one knows what's going on. If anyone wants to make money, every time Jim Cramer buys, sell. That seems to be the only thing CNBC can actually rely on, because somebody on Twitter is tracking it, and it's like way outperforming the market. It's shocking.
That's why with any kind of influencer, I say don't follow them.
Can't
take the information they're giving you and dissect it.
That's why I'm starting. I find, well, yeah, no, you have to, like, because when you make specific buy and sell recommendations, whether you like it or not, there's someone even a year from now, you'd be surprised. Even now, I get questions about Weed MD. Even now, on my original video.
In the crypto area, most of the influencers that push a token, they've already sold.
Yeah, that their FBI's cracking down hard on that, though.
Oh yeah. Well,
they've arrested a lot of YouTubers.
I don't know though. Is the FBI gonna go and help me because I lost $1,000? Probably not.
No.
$1 million, they might look. If you lost 50 million, they'll probably get involved. So it all depends on what token and how much everybody lost, right? But they're they have a hotline and everything.
Like that guy Tech Lead was under investigation for a long time. Mm-hmm. Remember that million token he created or whatever?
Yeah.
He totally scammed everybody. So he said that the token was backed. Wasn't backed. Basically, the initial buy round from people like us, for instance, that's what he used to back it. So he basically put in whatever his time was, let's say 40 hours and like $20 in marketing, because that's about all he had to friggin' do. And then he scammed everyone to get into million token. Was able to liquidate the hell out of it. And the problem is, if he had disclosed that it was not backed yet, there probably wouldn't be anything illegal about that whatsoever. But it's the fact that he said that it was backed, and what a scam artist. What a total scam.
I wonder if his middle name was Iran.
Ifran?
Or Ifran, yeah.
Maybe, and he was $5 short. I had to get it somewhere.
That blew my mind, dude. But what I love catching them, but whatever. But yeah, more about the economy. Or Tim, what were you going to say?
Well, no, I just see, we touched on, and here's another thought that I have is that we've touched on, we really haven't seen the effects because of China's lockdown and the supply chain, but I wonder if we really will ever see that blip that China's create or potentially creating in a supply chain, if we'll ever see that, just because the supply chain is not what it used to be, and we're just used to what the supply chain is now. Is China really, is the effects of China's lockdown and the effects that it will have on our supply chain a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, really going to be that noticeable to us here in North America? Do you think?
Everything plastic.
Why
do you think Walmart doesn't get plastic bags anymore? I think they knew.
Okay, so this is a good question.
You don't take the shopping cart home?
No, I got no hitch on the car, or else I would.
I do. I'd
get the wife to drive, and I'd sit in the cart and be like, "Yeah, give her."
Just hold on to the bumper tight as you're sitting in the cart.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah,
Yeah.
Ken did the real reason Ken didn't come on the show last week because he sat in the kiddie seat of the cart and couldn't get out.
That's
I thought
right.
his boot truck exploded.
No,
what?
the turbo exploded. The
Oh.
turbo, the engine, not the tank. The engine.
Oh, okay. Because there was.
But
at least-
I don't know. I mean, so everything's, I just, it
It's
blows
plastic, right?
it blows my mind. And I go back to 30, 40 years ago again. And I kind of think, you know, I kind of think that why did we give up so much control of our destiny? And it's the almighty dollar, right? It's the
Yep.
almighty dollar that just wags the tail of the dog, or the dog, whatever, you know what I mean? But it's just, I can't believe it. And, you know, sooner or later, if we classify that as greed, or we classify that as smart business, capitalism, whatever, I don't, you label it what you want, but sooner or later it bites you in the butt.
Well, it is smart business. It's just
It's, I mean, it was also.
we didn't think this was gonna happen.
No, it's
You know,
not
it was
smart
also-
business
I mean, it was
because
very-
it bites us. It put us.
Capitalism is intensely beneficial if it's localized and focused that way. The problem is, and I don't want to get into this as a political thing, but
No.
globalization has absolutely destroyed the US dollar. That's destroyed it because you're now so reliant on your trade partners and agreements set in place. US dollar means dick. And the East has proved that now, saying that they're going to trade in everything. But now, mind you, I'm speaking in hyperbole, everyone. I exaggerate. Everyone knows how I talk. But that's the thing. So capitalism, no system's perfect. But when you take capitalism and let it go to places that don't believe in capitalism, like, why wouldn't there be an issue? Because, for instance, why wouldn't the capitalists take advantage of Chinese labor? Why wouldn't it? The fact is, you shouldn't deal with a country that is like that if you're capitalist, if you want to maintain it, to preserve your own wealth in your own country, the workforce, yada, 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 and force China, for instance, to build on its own. Now, we didn't do that, obviously. So that's the thing is, I don't want to get down a trail. Whether people agree with me or not, I mean this so respectfully, but capitalism is totally garbage if you're trying to implement it in places that don't care about it, don't want it, and have nothing to do with it, government wise. So it's like capitalism isolated is, to me, amazing. But that's also, keep in mind, when the founding fathers and all of this, they really were isolated, right? Like, and America exploded when they were isolated. It wasn't, and I mean exploded. Okay, the Industrial Revolution happened when there really wasn't much going on globally. Globalization and spreading of values has degraded other nations and what they believe in, and has also degraded this nation in capitalism. That's my mindset, and I mean that with respect to finance and not anything else.
I mean,
Well,
part of it too with China is that China set themselves up in a perfect situation. They basically had the people, they had the ability to mass produce on a method that nobody else could. Thus, they were able to sell things at prices so cheap, the world couldn't ignore it. Unfortunately, the world, basically by relying on China this way, put all of their eggs in a single basket. Now that now those eggs are broken, we're going to have to start not relying on China, which means things are going to go up in price. And this is a different type of inflation because we can't put ourselves in that situation again. We need to start producing all of our own little parts.
Well, that's the thing too. If you want higher minimum wage, well, you're going to pay more for an American-made T-shirt. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And Candace nailed it. With China buckling at the knees right now, their consumers are dying over there. Okay, they're definitely about to approach a massive recession. So the ripple effects come down here. It's going to be pretty wild. But
so let me ask you that: in a communist country like China, is a recession as bad? Use the word bad as it is here.
No,
would we even know? Because they don't disclose real numbers to people. So
there you go.
Let's throw this twist in, okay? Russia, right? China is friends with Russia, right? We're putting countries are putting sanctions on Russia. China is Russia's friend. Could this be all a game? Could they?
Oh my God! This is the perfect chess.
Could they be doing this whole lockdown to hurt us? Think about it.
Of course they could.
Well,
of course they could. Do we have proof, or do we have pictures of what's really going on over there?
Right. That's the thing, right? but you can look at it and think about it, right? Like,
Well, of course.
you know,
But going back to Candace's point, sorry, Candace, just before I lose my thought, you had mentioned that, I'd have to rewind this, but you mentioned China, that we became on them because of the labor, because of this and this and this and this, and it's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg, or did we become reliant first on China because they had the money and they could bail out countries and lend money? Then they said, well, because we're doing this now, why don't you give us some of your business over here? And it just flourished and flourished and flourished and flourished and flourished. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or did they? What got their foot in the door with us? Or
easy. Okay, this is so easy. And actually, I'd love to hear Candace or even Jill's comment on this, because I know she has education in this area, and Ken, of course, everyone. But this one, okay. Breaking it down to, actually, can you repeat the question? I want to put this thing, I got this wicked idea in my head. Can you repeat the question, bro? So I can nail it down. Or Candace, go first. I'm just trying to think of something in my head. Candace, go first.
I forget. I don't know what the question was
either. Oh, dear God.
But while you're thinking of what the question is.
So what came first? The chicken or the egg?
Oh,
what came first, the chicken?
Okay,
I said egg last time.
No, hold on. Here's why the egg came first. Because chickens evolved from something else. So something else one day had an egg, and then out of that egg came the first chicken. So the egg had to come before the chicken. It's just
okay. So what I was going to say on this was that China and this whole scenario was set up way, way, way before we even think it was. And so much of it has to do with population and how their culture grew versus our culture, right? Mm-hmm. Their culture was so primitive compared to North American culture at the time, yet their population was through the roof. There's only one way to participate in the new economy, the North American driven economy, with their standing point in their population level. That would be total communist control, Mao in the 50s. That'd be total communist control, selling off your labor for cheap to dominate, because that's the only way to compete. The only thing they had was population. That's the only thing they had. And they've used now this slave labor to boost their economy to what it is, to somehow catch up. That's all it is. Like, this was set in stone hundreds of years ago. When China got on this uncontrollable population explosion, it was already set in stone that the likelihood of them being a socialist or communist-based society were pretty much written in stone, in my opinion, just again, because of how primitive they were versus their population size. And then you compare that to their competition in the flourishing North American market. They didn't have a friggin' choice, and neither did we. The only way China could have survived, because how is China going to pay everyone a living wage like America? They've got 50 times the people. Again, I'm speaking in hyperbole. It's not possible. So you have to force them to work for pennies on the dollar. That's the only way that China could have even gotten to this point, was through communism. So as much as I hate communism, I don't even know how China could have succeeded without communism, because there's too many damn people. Everything would have been on social welfare, and they don't have enough infrastructure. And it was like, but Candace, I'd love to hear what you have to say, but I think it's a population thing. I think it started with China long ago, and we didn't have a choice in it. That's my gut.
Well, I think it was, I don't know if I'd say that we didn't have a choice. We all had a choice to take advantage of what China was able to offer. But I think the deal was so good that we didn't have a choice, because it's like, well, gosh, yeah, I'd rather pay, pennies for that instead of a couple bucks.
And not to mention, when the world was different, we had a lack of information, and it was newspapers. We don't know that there's people being killed and working for a dime every time you put on a pair of Nikes. You know what I mean? No one knew that. So they're like, holy crap, I can make my shoes for borderline nothing, and these Chinese people are all good over there? Sweet. Like,
yeah, and keep in mind too, I mean, the whole idea of capitalism and that desire for money and for items and for stuff, that completely feeds right into what China is able to do with their communism. So in a sense, it's like they're the back end of capitalism, and they probably kill me.
Candace, that is the most amazing point you just made, because I often think, and I've never really vocalized this, but it's that dark back room of the office. It's in the same building, it's in the same office, and we're playing the same game, but it's the stock room. That's kind of what it feels like. That point was so, I love that point. I'm gonna remember that. I like that point.
Good point.
That was a good point. I liked it.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder if all these world leaders are really at each other's throat, or whether they all go on a camping and a fishing trip together and they say, so what are we gonna excuse my French, fuck up the world next?
Oh, dude.
And it's your turn to win.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what the whole, I don't want to get into this.
I mean,
either,
it's
but that's
not
what
like
the
that.
whole
Of course, it's not
WEF
like that.
thing is all
It's
about.
not like that. But I mean, it seems that way. And again, I don't know that I would have had this thoughts if I wasn't or haven't been exposed to social media and media outright. Who else puts this shit in? Well, you could read it. Well, I'm sorry, that's just a written point of opinion as opposed to someone being live on camera talking about it. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, most politicians in the free world, they have to go where the money goes because that's what funds them. That's all the lobbyists. So, I mean, business really runs the country. It's not even the government. And when you're looking at all of the shareholders and what is important to them, that's pretty much going to dictate what's going to happen, at least policy-wise, with a lot of politics.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just one big union that they're renegotiating all their contracts between countries to keep all their trading stuff open and stuff like this. And irregardless of us, it's just, and it's like,
that's literally what the whole, and again, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but pretend I'm putting on a tinfoil hat. That's truly what the whole World Economic Forum thing lately is all about.
G9, G7, all that.
I'm not, like I don't even want to go down that road, but it's literally, that's what the whole WEF thing is. Yeah, reduce the cost of labor for sure. I agree with Jill's point, but it's like, so maybe expanding on my thought and turning it into a question. Do you guys think access to information hurts capitalism? Because I believe capitalism is the best form of, like, the best system that is out there. That's just my opinion.
I do.
Yeah.
Because what I think it does is I think that the people in power, the people with the money, and the people who have the ability to make the plays don't get hurt by that. But the people who are wanting to make the plays based on these, because who's creating the news? The capitalists are creating the news based on their moves. It hurts the average Joe or Jill or whoever because they can't do it. It's too late in most cases, right? They don't have the ability to jump on board in a moment's notice, where the capitalists have already made their play. That's just an opinion.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense.
And talk. What did Ryan just say about wages and stuff like that? Did you hear? What's the guy? Oh my God! Of Starbucks. Who's the CEO of Starbucks?
Somebody special?
No. Anyway, so you know that some of the Starbucks locations are unionized, right?
Yeah.
He has come out and publicly said that all the non-union stores get a $5 an hour raise as of August because they're non-unionized.
I agree with that.
Good.
That happened.
Wow, you should hear the shitstorm that's stirring up, because that is screwing with the union, with the ability.
Yeah,
it's like, no, I like it. I think it's great, but it's like, holy shit.
It's how unions work, because unions work in districts. So if this Starbucks is, say, in Sarnia, right? Say they're funded by LiUNA. Well, in London, Starbucks, you have to get a hold of that LiUNA branch and have them do all the voting. That happened here, right? We got unionized by LiUNA here in Sarnia. And what they did is they turned around and took our Thamesville division, our London division, our Woodstock division, our Putnam division. And they went ahead and they gave everybody the equal amount of raise that they would have if they were unionized, to stop the union from going in there. And it worked, you know. They could have just gave us what we wanted in the beginning and there'd be no union in Sarnia, but whatever, you know. But everybody benefited from that one, you know. That one.
I don't follow this, obviously. I mean, years ago, I did deal with the Teamsters local here in Oakville, Milton, Burlington is what I did. And they were, I had a pleasant experience with them. I had no problem with them. They made the employees have this sense of protection, but there is no such term as job security. But throughout this illness over the last 2 years, have the union, and now that we're coming out of it, are the unions stronger, weaker, or status quo?
That's a
Status
good
quo.
question.
Status quo.
Yeah.
Like for
Well,
the
they certainly don't have the membership if people are
For-
trying to hire, because they ain't getting membership for people who aren't working.
well, see,
Dues.
the labor's union here, there's nobody on the list. They're looking for people badly right now.
Who?
I could leave my job and go on the list and make $32 an hour versus 23 right now if I wanted to.
Doing what?
Working in the plants because it's shutdown season. All the plants are like Nova is doing a 3-month shutdown, I think it is, and then IOL's doing their one, and then which is Imperial Oil, and then
You've
there's a
got
couple of
oil.
other ones. Shell is doing a shutdown as well. Shell's they want 7 days a week service, so they're getting 7 days a week service on their toilets, and Nova is after a 2-time changeover daily, 7 days a week as well. So
Holy shit.
a guy in during the day and a guy in during the night.
Wow.
So as far as I could tell, in Sarnia, which is biased because Sarnia is a union town because of Chemical Valley, they're flourishing here. Like with the whole COVID thing, there was only a shutdown for 2 weeks. They shut down all the plants for 2 weeks, and then boom, everybody back to work. And then unfortunately, it was outside contractors from different cities coming in, bringing COVID into the valley, right?
So we made a call to our mortgage specialist on the way to Florida.
Oh, by the way, nice tan.
It's now turned into blood pressure, so that's what you see now is my blood pressure.
Nice.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah. This is
So
what 180 looks like. No, I'm just joking. And we said, we want to talk to you about locking in our interest rates. And she said to us, she said to Nancy, so what's your thought about this? And so on and so forth, because we're variable now, right? And the more we talked about it, the more we thought, are we off our ever living rocker? We're paying like 2.89% right now. And how many times is that interest? How many times has the basis rate got to go up to go to what they wanted was, I think, on a 5-year 4%? And she goes, you're still cheaper with a variable rate, even with a number of bumps in the lending rate. So I don't know why people are running to get their mortgages locked in.
Well, because you can lock it in for 2.59 right now versus 4 in future at a variable rate.
Not at a 5-year, at a variable, but not at a 5-year.
I just locked mine in 5 months ago.
At
For
a
a 5 year.
variable? A variable?
No, unvariable.
So a fixed.
Yeah, fixed. Is that what you're talking about? You guys were looking at going to a fixed?
Well, we were comparing. Yeah, we were comparing
Okay,
the
you're
fixed, right?
comparing that. Okay,
We're still
yeah.
cheaper at a we got a lot. I mean, the Fed, the Canadian government come in and do whatever they want for a couple more bumps, and we're still cheaper than locking in. So for those of you who are watching that are thinking about it, talk to your banker first, because sometimes it's not worth it.
Always do the math on both options.
Yep.
However, if you do lock it in, you know exactly what your monthly costs are every month for the next whatever years.
But if this inflation goes through the roof, what is the government going to do to ease it again? They're going to redrop the interest rates. Correct?
No,
No.
I don't think that's going to happen on an immediate
That'll
basis.
start that, yeah,
Sure,
it'll be that
sure.
cycle all
But-
over again.
Yeah, but dude, they're not even going to be able to get away with that for a while. I think there's going to be a grace period before they would even entertain mass drops again.
Yeah. They got
Like, what would be the point? I mean, we have to think about like the timing cycle of these rate hikes in the past, like going from low to high, low to high. It didn't happen in 2 years. We didn't have a 2-year inflation cycle. Like, I don't know. Look at every other cycle. It lasts quite a while. Now, things are tightening up. Maybe that's just because the world's changing technology-wise, but I don't know. I mean, are you really thinking that right when we get to, say, 3%, 3.5%, that we're going to go down to 2%?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
I could foresee
No.
us being at 3% or 2.5 plus.
No.
Why wouldn't we be there for 2 or 3 years?
I would even go.
Right. And my point being, sorry, go ahead, Candace.
I was just going to say a decade. I don't think you'd see any. I don't think they would even consider lowering rates for at least 10 years.
Really?
I'm not on the 10-year bandwagon, but I'm on for a while. Like, I totally agree with Candace on that. For a while.
Yeah, like I think you'll have to see. First of all, you'll have to see a change in the Canadian government. You'll probably need to see a change in some of the people at the Bank of Canada before they would even consider it. Any of the people who were involved in what's happened during this mess, those would be the holdouts who would not let it happen. That's why I'm saying probably a decade would be the time frame.
Retirement time for half of them, 10 years.
What makes you say a decade?
That gives you a chance to get rid of, first of all, the current government's gone. You have the next government who comes in, whether it be the Conservatives. I think they're not going to do it. And you're going to probably then wait till they've run their course. And then probably the next Liberal government that makes it in sometime in the future would be the most likely culprits, I think.
But this is the thing. Okay, so let's break this down though to reality, in that Canada tends to just be a trailing partner of the United States. And given there's going to be that federal election in 2024, hate to say it, but for instance, if Republicans did win, there's probably going to be a massive rally in the market. Probably. Just because that's what's happened every other time, right? So there's probably going to be one that'll probably have really positive effects for Canada and globally, obviously, for financial markets. Do you think that might play? Like, because I'm thinking 2025 to 2027. I wasn't going the full 2030 route.
No, I'm thinking you'll probably have the rates, wherever we peak at. I think we're going to stay peaked. We won't go any higher. But I think that there'll be other ways to stimulate the economy.
Yeah. Okay.
Whether it be through tax cuts or other different mechanisms.
Do you guys see us reaching a parity with the US dollar anytime soon?
I hope not.
If it ever happens again, I'm going to be buying as much US dollar as humanly possible. But
But that's, whenever we do get to parity with the US dollar, that's just not very good for our economy. So
yeah, that's the thing. That would be like guaranteed recession, because now we're super uncompetitive given our pricing schemes compared to the United States. That would be really bad for importers, for exporters, for everything. Yeah.
And even
Jill had a good point. But she just, because I know people always say this, but Bank of Canada doesn't actually have anything to do with the government of the day. So Jill had a pretty good point. I just want to put that out there. But at the same time, to Candace's point, I do think that a lot of it has to do with who's in office. We do see the Fed reacting fun. Like Jerome Powell has been in office with both President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden. Very different versions of Jerome Powell. Bank of Canada is shifting, and it's all good. It's all good. Our economy is booming. We're just going to get this under control a little bit. It's very much in line with the government of the day. I kind of agree with Candace on that point, but I thought it was a good.
So do you think that Powell was more effective and more influenced with Trump than he is with
I don't think
Biden?
He was more effective. If anything, I think he was least effective. I think that Powell was a side seater. Like, you didn't need Jerome Powell when the market was on fire for 4 years straight. Jerome Powell was there to chill out. Let's rock and roll. And then his last 2 years has been focused on quantitative easing because of COVID. So we didn't even need this cat.
So was that
Biden? He's in crisis mode.
Yeah.
Right. So with the 4 year, when you said the 4 year in the Trump era was on fire, was that going to happen anyway, or did Trump do that?
Well, okay. So there's 50-50 on that. This is a total political opinion, so I'm going to have people totally disagree with me on this. I would say some of that, the economy was primed because of Obama's policies, just like a lot of Obama's, good numbers were primed by Bush. Bush's good numbers primed by Clinton, so on and so forth, right? So I think that a lot of that was set up and primed, ready to go. But again, going back to the globalism aspect and how that's damaging to capitalism in the sense of the definition, I believe that financially speaking, look, get this, man, and this is a 100% true story. My great-grandfather passed away, and we all inherited XYZ, whatever, right? So his daughters, my grandparents, they got like a lot of money. They're liberals through and through, government workers. Nothing wrong with that, but they're liberals. They're doing their thing. They go to invest this money. This financial advisor, this was in 2016, right after Trump, said that if you don't invest this money in Trump's market, you're done. They literally made bank, and it's just there is something to be said for America first, nationalism. All these companies were burying money. Do you think Tesla would be what it is today if there wasn't such a pro-American, make in America, American car mentality kind of thing? Like, yes, Obama primed a market, but with a really solid foundation that Obama provided Trump was able to build a beautiful house on it. So that's kind of the thing. That's really what I believe is what happened. I think it cannot say it's all because of Trump, and you cannot say it's all because of Obama. Trump was there for 4 damn years, and that market was exploding the whole time. So Obama helped, like I said, make that amazing foundation. Donald Trump, markets reacted. And it wasn't just in the United States. Global markets were on fire. What happened lately? I mean, look, we've been dealing with COVID for a while, but the second we have shifts in major issues in American administration, we get war, we get policy shifts, we get XYZ. And, you know, it's I don't want to get political, but I do believe that some credit goes to the ex-president of the United States for the market. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, you also have to give credit to Elon Musk. I mean, he knows
you got to give credit to
how
him.
to play the game. It doesn't matter what government's in; he would know how to play them like a fiddle, and so he gets a huge shout out for that.
It's funny how much excitement and money Elon Musk drives into America. People don't really probably think about it, but he drives money. That guy is probably more important for the American economy than Joe Biden at this point. And I hate to say that. You tell me what happens if Mr. President Joe Biden passes away tomorrow or Elon Musk passes away tomorrow, which has a bigger impact on the market. I hate to say it to you folks, but I think we all know what's going to have a bigger impact on the market, right? Like, it's pretty, that's my opinion though, obviously.
Yeah, no, Elon's sort of like a modern day Michelangelo.
He is kind of.
You know, he can invent almost anything. It's like, oh, I need something that can do this. I'll just invent a robot. It's like,
Yep.
You know, there we go.
Very true.
Sorry, I was just looking for a news article, but it's not there. No.
Oh.
14 likes and 25 people watching. Come on, guys. Let's pick it up.
I liked it.
Okay, good. Me too. So that means that there's even more people not liking that are watching. Damn it.
Ken's going to like it right now. He just picked up his phone.
I
did.
I just threw my like up there. It's like bang.
I did. I threw it up. There you go.
I don't know. I
Half
don't know.
basis point for your like button, and it turned blue.
We got all this talk. I mean, you got. What the article I was looking for was that there was an airport in the UK that just basically is mostly dedicated to flights with drones and self-flying airplanes and stuff like that, the first in the world and stuff like. And it's just here we go with this is literally going to take off, and how is this going to affect us in the future? I still lay awake at night thinking, you know, with all the technology that is evolving, like I'm sure you've seen it on Facebook that they've got I think it's the Amazon warehouse where they've got those round robots that are on rails, and there's thousands of them sorting through the Amazon shopping, and it's all robots just picking and sorting, and it takes it out to the person who puts it in the bins and loads it on the trucks, and away they go. And I think about, what are all these people who used to do that going to do? Because the population isn't getting any too small.
Here's the funny thing about them robots.
What do we do to earn money?
Elon Musk had an amazing thing that he said, which I hate to even acknowledge, but he says that he can't imagine a world where his robot exists and we don't get universal basic income. And it's like, because he's going to put us all out of work. And his robot's first prototypes come in 2025, guys. He says it's going to be $25K and you'll be able to do whatever the hell you want with it. And it's like, it's going to change the friggin' planet, dude. Now, if I'm looking at a forward indicator, let's drop Elon Musk from the picture because he just makes everything outlandish. If we were to forget Elon Musk, look at Dubai. Drones are not yet kind of crazy in Dubai, although they're starting to get there. Dubai is like a really great forward indicator, but it's almost like with people like Elon Musk, it almost seems like drones are old tech. Like something, I almost feel like Elon's going to make some invisible gel drone. I don't know. It's just, I'm sitting here thinking like, if he's not focused on them, what the hell are we doing? I don't know. I get caught up in this guy. I get way too fanboyish over here, but like, I support this guy.
And you can have a dream about some new device and he's got a prototype of it like a month later.
Well, the guy woke up and said, I want a flamethrower, built one, sold 20,000, moved on with life. Can you imagine if it was that easy? I mean, to wake up and be like, I want flamethrowers. That would be awesome.
Or even the tunnel. It's like, he's just like, I'm sick of the traffic. I just want to build the big tunnel under the ground.
Yeah.
And voila, he's got a tunnel. I'm like, what the heck?
He's a rock star, that guy. I can't get enough of that guy. I know lots of people hate him now, especially
with the
more than
robots,
ever.
the point I was just making, about 10 years ago when I used to, I was a manager in a Staples call center. They sent us a video from one their distribution centers. And 10 years ago, they had robots doing everything. Basically, the people were just the employees were at the front of the warehouse, and they would just enter in what they wanted. The robots would go get them and bring them right out to them. So no people handled most of the warehouse. And this was 10 years ago.
What about that video I posted about that driverless car? The person's just sitting at home driving the car. Driverless Uber.
Do you
like what does the Tesla bot do to China? Like we have a very small population in comparison, and we can probably handle ourselves through UBI. America's probably gonna have a way harder time. China can't do it. So are they all just gonna die? Like, and I'm asking like a genuine, serious question. Like, how are they going to sustain themselves when America doesn't need their cheap labor?
They're going to form the world's biggest army, and they're going to get paid to serve.
They're going to what, sorry?
They're going to get paid to serve. Everything's going to be supplied to them because they form the army. Huh?
Who's going to pay them to, like, where's the money coming from to pay a billion, whatever it is, people to serve?
China can supply them with homes and food and stuff like that. They just go and take it and supply
it. If their revenue source, which is their cheap slave labor, is totally cut off because we have robots working 24/7, literally, what are they going to do? It's almost like, remember when America cut off Japanese oil in 1940 or 41? So when America cut off the lifeline to Japan, threatened their entire economy with oil, Pearl Harbor, right? So what does the Tesla bot do to the slave labor in China? It's not a good scenario for China to be in. I mean, it's not, if we can replace the Chinese individual with a robot with respect to labor,
China could become the first robot nation.
They have a billion people. How do you feed a billion people? You remember back when they were trying communism and they're trying, Mao and Stalin are trying to manipulate through GMOs the yield of rice? They ended up starving 50 million people. That's what we're going to force them to do again. That's what we're going to force them to do again.
Or they'll come out with a shot that makes their population sterile.
They have no choice. I mean, the one child rule already is still not.
That's been abolished now, I think.
Is it?
I think it was. I think I got rid of it.
Oh, well, that's the dumbest thing they ever did.
Well, here we go. High rises and condominiums.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they got rid of it so that they could have a bigger future army.
Maybe. And I mean, I don't even want to put it past it genuinely. I love how Joe was mentioning that they're somewhat capitalist as well. But overall, I'd say communist. That's what freaks me out most about these people is because we're putting them in a corner every day. Every day they get closer and closer to a corner. The more that we advance technologically and their society squats over a rice paddy and they can barely light a fire. I'm not talking about the differences in good people or bad people, but the culture is different. They don't compare to North America with respect to their industrialism. How do they benefit when, like, I was even talking to my parents about this. Like, if the Tesla robot's 25 grand, my parents would probably experiment with one and just have it working 24/7 because you can program its tasks or whatever. And it's like, oh, look, she's calling. Okay, well, I'll actually be back in 1 second in case it's important. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, and now it's just you and I.
Well, there you go. Now we can talk about them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, Candace. It's all. What's that?
What? I think he said he had dysentery.
No, I need to make a coffee. Dysentery. What the hell?
I thought I would try. Why not?
I don't know. It's
I mean, it'll be interesting to see the way. I mean, keep in mind too that with robots making things, the amount of mass production you can do with robots, because you can work them to death, quite literally. That's going to bring prices down everywhere. We get to a situation where maybe China's not mass producing, but they can still buy what they need from the rest of the world at really cheap prices until they figure out their robot thing.
yeah. I think I don't. I mean, I don't think us Canadians will ever become as self-sufficient as other countries like China and stuff, because our climate, number one, doesn't let us do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we rely too much on selling what we maybe should be keeping in order to generate money to bring back in to live. Do you know what I mean? It's like a vicious circle almost that we're caught in.
I have a solution.
Okay.
We'll have robots wearing them Canada Goose jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep them warm, keep their turbos tight.
Yeah. But we can't grow fruits. We can't grow, you know what I mean?
We can't, but we've also got all the resources.
Yeah.
So all of these vital minerals, I mean, as countries get more and more desperate for minerals, what's to say we can't start charging a lot more for the exports to ensure that we're getting the food that we need.
But they're just going to turn around and do the same back to us, and it just becomes that vicious circle.
And then, of course, we also have most of fresh water.
And that's when war starts.
That's when the U.S. invades us to get our water, when we say, no, you can't have it.
Oh no, Nestee's already doing that. They got they couldn't take it out of the Great Lakes, so they took it 500 feet inland and just dug a pipe.
They don't give a shit. The U.S. is already going to drain the Great Lakes of all of our fresh water. Russia is already encroaching on our northern territory all the time. All of our fresh water, they're already, just like the governments do with anything you can think of. I'm not going to bring up an example, but governments worldwide, whatever, they like to test what we're willing to put up with. Every day. The closer China, like today, China had the largest amassed ever carrier group stationed right outside a U.S. base. Okay. Now the U.S. base is in Japan, and mind you, Japan and China are like this. Okay. But it's like, they're just, everyone wants to inch a little bit more. That's why every now and then there's a Russian bomber caught over the Arctic. They're just seeing if they can get an extra 500K before they get turned around. That's it. Like, and they're going to keep testing and testing. Not to mention the Arctic has some of the largest oil reserves on the planet outside of friggin' Siberia. Okay. So when if global warming ever really does screw us, and I'm just saying, then Siberia and the Arctic are unlocked. And you're going to see the Wild West of wars like crazy, dude. Canada's actually going to be worth something for a change.
Yep. Lots of gold up there frozen in the ground, right? So
lots of black gold.
And real gold. That'll be another war right there.
Texas tea sickles.
Texas tea.
But sickles, because they're like frozen.
It's frozen, yeah. I got it.
Oh dear.
This has been a good convo. I'm vibing on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't even know what the topic is anymore. It seems
I don't either.
The topic. Maybe that's why we're having such a good time.
I don't know. I don't know. The only thing that I can tie in that was crypto was that it looks like the sales and the activity with NFTs has dropped immensely.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I don't follow NFTs anymore. I mean,
NFT is more or less. I mean, they have their uses, but I think when it comes to people investing in them, you need the market in really great shape. People need that disposable money. Right now, with everybody afraid, NFTs are just, unless they have a good function to them, I don't see them.
All they've done for NFTs, which I think is an amazing first step, but all they've done is tested a proof of concept with pictures of apes and freaking donkeys or doodles. And it's really stupid, but the proof of concept's been proved, at least with respect to what an NFT is. But what it'll be is who knows.
And speaking of those friggin' apes, did you guys hear that thing on the weekend where because you had to have one of the ape NFTs to buy land, the gas fees on Ethereum were so friggin' ridiculous that if you tried to make a transaction, I think it was Saturday or either Saturday or Friday of last week, it was like thousands of dollars just to make a simple transaction.
One
Come on,
transaction was like
gas fees?
yeah,
Yeah.
between $1,000 and $3,000 for one transaction.
On
Yeah.
Monday, I tried to get into a pre-sale, and it was just a pre-sale, like it was on Pink Finance, and it was $429
Oh,
gas fees. And I was like, I gave him a big finger. I was like, I don't think so. Forget that.
I imagine a lot of people that day decided.
oh,
I
that's
think I'll
not
go
going to be
Solana
good for
instead.
Ethereum. What the hell? Well, I think it was Ryan's. Was it? It must have been Ryan's stream today, and they were bringing up, like, they bring up the top 5 movers and stuff in the background, and they brought up the cryptocurrencies, and up there was, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, and Dogecoin.
Those are the top 5 that people care about, man.
Isn't that interesting, eh?
Have you
Dogecoin? I can't believe the mileage that Dogecoin has got.
look up Dogecoin's year-to-date performance compared to all 5 of those coins.
Yeah.
We're going to feel like idiots if we look it up. Trust me, it's crazy.
Well, and also keep in mind, where Elon just purchased Twitter, people are thinking that's going to have a positive side effect on Dogecoin. So there's people buying Doge right now in anticipation of the rumor. They're buying the rumor.
Yeah, but you know how people talk about, oh, this coin's going to go up because of the scarcity, because it only has like 100,000 tokens or whatever. Dogecoin's infinite. It's still being mined. It's infinite. So how the hell did that get to where it got to? Like, it's printed every day because people are mining.
And didn't they say that Elon said it's not off the table yet, that some parts, if not certain things for Twitter, are going to be on a subscription basis?
Yeah,
Bingo.
probably.
Yeah,
what?
Actually, what he said, and this is what I heard, is that regular people won't have to pay anything, but businesses and corporations will have to pay to get on Twitter.
I agree 100%. I don't know why they shouldn't.
And he's looking to make that movement with cryptocurrency too. Make your payments in crypto.
Yeah.
Right. Gives it more momentum. There'll be more than 4% invested in crypto worldwide.
Yeah.
Would you ever like to see him as president of the U.S.?
He could never be.
Yeah, he wasn't born in the U.S.
All right.
I wish he could. But.
That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger never got to do it.
Paternal?
Yeah.
You're paternal. It means born by.
Yeah.
Born by.
Although
his mom was Canadian.
There was a Canadian miniseries that had Paul Gross in it.
That would be my mom.
And it was all about the water. And basically what happened in the series is he was the prime minister and he wanted to be the president. But the only way he could be the president is if he was born in America. So he created this water crisis.
Maternal and paternal.
He let it get so bad to the point that the U.S. ended up annexing America or Canada. And then when that happened, he became an American citizen and he was able to manipulate his way into becoming the president. But it was a really good miniseries.
That's what Ted Cruz got all his heat for a while back, because he was born in Calgary.
Ted Cruz was, eh?
Yeah, but he was born to American citizens on an American job. So it's one of those things.
And the big poop when we were in the States was what Santos did to Disney. And that he is the Republican hopeful, apparently, for president, or to lead the Republicans into the next election. And then he turns on Disney.
It's so divided down there, dude. I don't think turning on Disney hurts him at all. But yeah, Ron DeSantis, he's he is a more polished version of Donald Trump with the exact same message, if that makes sense. Like, they're both aggressively nationalist. They're both aggressively right-wing principled. Donald Trump speaks more like we do in the after show. Ron DeSantis speaks like a governor, but they're both pretty aggressive. But yeah, he went after Disney pretty bad. We'll see how that affects his election numbers, because obviously Disney's a massive contributor in Florida.
Well, I certainly don't want to open up a can of worms, but what the hell is going on with this Roe versus whatever And is that the abortion thing going on
Yeah.
down there now?
Yeah.
They-
A lot of people
That
are
sounds like that has the potential of really of
Right.
the crap hitting the fan.
A
on
lot
that
of people
one.
are really confused on the details. So
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
just put it out there right now that all this does is removes the federal mandate. Now, you know how the United States has put so much emphasis on state power, right? This Roe versus Wade means that it strikes it down on a federal level and is now up to the states individually. Whether, for instance, New York accepts 2 or 3rd trimester abortions. Texas might not allow any abortions. There are varying opinions, but at least nationally, they've said with Roe v. Wade that
Yeah.
nationally, it's not their place. That's their republic. Keep in mind the difference between a republic and what we have here in Canada, because the state has so much more power in the republic than a province does in our system. So everyone has to keep that in mind too. So this is to totally remove federal mandates. Now, there should be in place, I mean, how it's not codified. This is really just going to come down to a constitutional amendment that they'll have to get done at some point. But this is really semantics, people tripping over this, because they're just really going back to the state level. And that's the whole basis of the republic anyway.
So is this all coming to is this all bubbling up because we've got the primaries coming up?
Midterm elections?
Yeah,
You
the
think?
midterms, I mean. Well,
You
it's
think?
just like, holy crap. Like, I mean, so I was in, like, we're moving, so I got to get my license changed, my health card, da. The only thing you can't do vehicle-wise is your ownership. You got to go into a Service Ontario and have it done. So if you take your original ownership in, free of charge. If you don't have your original ownership, it's $32. So and they said, well, is your license still, your plate still valid? And I went, I don't know. I just got this massive check back for like 4 license plates. I would think so. So, you know, like, so they look at it and I said, well, my new one doesn't have it. And it says on your ownership, val tag or whatever, not required. And I said, so what's gonna, she goes, well, this ownership that has the val tags associated with it is good until that val tag runs out. I said, what happens after that? She goes, you go online and you renew your vehicle permit. And
So they've removed stickers, so you have to renew your ownership?
What the hell's the difference? I said, that was the stupidest thing he could have done to give up $1 billion in revenue. Now, so I'm thinking about that, and I'm on the road doing assessments today, and I'm in Kitchener, I'm in Brantford, I'm in Waterloo and stuff like this. And you know what I'm seeing, and I don't think you have it out west, and I don't know how prevalent it is in Sarnia or in Ottawa, but we have these community cameras now.
Oh,
right. So yeah, so we have this community camera. Oh, it was in Brantford on Wayne Gretzky Parkway, where the speed limit's 70 kilometers an hour, and they had this community camera set up on a 70K road. And I'm thinking, it's just like the old it's basically the old photo radar reborn, but they are going to make a shit ton of money on that. A shit ton, because it's going to come to the owner of the vehicle, and
You have to pay it, bro.
You're screwed.
I know people hate it. I'm massively in favor of photo radar.
I am too. I am too. As long as you set speed limits not at the speed limit.
so here's
Okay, that's one thing that I can say that I love Calgary about. Okay, so I did get a ticket. I was going 25 over the limit, and I'm like, oh, you know, this sucks or whatever. And somewhere in this, I think it was the magistrate, whatever you call them, the lady who justice of the peace lady who was sitting there mentioning, and they don't issue a ticket unless you're 15 kilometers over. And I'm like,
good.
You know what? I love this city, man. Like, I broke the law. I owe you money. Simple. But you're not going to ding me on 15K. Like, I mean, it was realistic. But you know what the nice thing is too? I haven't been pulled over since I've been in this city. And I used to get the pins and needles. Everyone knows what it's like to get pulled over. You feel uncomfortable. I haven't been pulled over once. Cops here do cop stuff. They go arrest people who do bad stuff. Like, you never get pulled over by police. I could not be happier with photo radar.
And the nice thing about photo radar is if you have a neighbor that you do not like, you can take a picture, a really good picture of their license plate, and put it over yours, and then just keep going through that radar really fast.
do circles.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, that's where they're probably going to make their money up. And you know what? The person behind on the other side of the counter just said, well, we'll see what happens after the election. I went, oh, and she goes, yep. And I went, I don't know. Just giving all this money away. It's like the election signs are starting to go up here now in my area. And I don't know about your area, Candace, or Ken in your area, but they're starting to go up, and here we go, right?
Yeah.
Nothing more annoying than a political election.
This is a very big election. If Ford can win this election again as a moderate conservative, it could very well temper the way the candidates play out in the actual leadership on the federal conservatives. Because if they're thinking that, hey, Ontario, where most of the seats are, if the key to winning Ontario is a moderate conservative, that may
good point.
play a role.
Good point. Never thought of that one. Yeah, I don't know. It's the Nanos poll is really tight with the three top, so it's like, oh dear God.
Well,
please don't give us a minority. Please don't give us a minority.
Oh God! Yeah,
as long as I don't have to see that idiot's face ever again once 2025 is done, I'm gonna be so happy. I don't even, and I say that word and I almost regret it, but I don't. That's how frustrated he makes me. Like once he's gone, I think everybody's happier.
You're talking so federally, though.
Federally.
But what if he gets back in, Ryan?
No way he's going to run more than the 10 years to match Harper. If anything, he's going to step down and allow Chrystia Freeland to come in and potentially run as the first long-term female prime minister. Kim Campbell, yes, she was in the role. It's a bit of a different scenario with her, though. I think she could be the first real, and I say real sparingly. Please know that I respect Kim Campbell's position. She could be the first real prime minister.
Well, Kim Campbell never was elected.
That's the thing. It's like it's not real. Yeah, but she was still prime minister, so I don't want to take that away from her.
But still,
yeah, Chrystia Freeland I think could be the first real elected female prime minister in Canada. Yeah. If I was Trudeau, that's how I would play my cards right, and I would step down right before the election, taking my 10 years, beat out Harper or match Harper for his 10 years, whatever. Take your 10 years, move on, step down, and you maintain that political party because you don't think he's going to maintain control after the fact. I mean, that's you know what I mean?
So are you at all levels, municipal, regional, provincial, federal, are you at those four levels or certain levels in favor of like the US with 2 terms tops?
It's
and then a new leadership comes in.
I don't want to be a hypocrite, so I'm going to say I like the way Canada has it now, only because I was happy with Harper. I can't change the rule just because I don't like Trudeau, but I was very happy with Harper, and if he would have won 15 years, I would have been very happy. You know what I mean? I was like, I kind of really believe that. I mean, the longest a Canadian party can really run is like 3 terms, with one being a halvesy. It's usually a majority, a minority, and a minority, or a majority, minority at max, right? Like there's always that fade.
Under those 3 terms, you mean?
Sorry?
Under those 3 terms, if someone was to run 3 terms, you're saying it's usually a majority, minority?
Or a majority, minority. Like they fade away.
But with the same person, right?
Yeah, like I'm just saying, I don't think the Canadian people, even liberals, want to look at his face for another 10 years. And it's not because he's bad in their eyes. I just think like you got to have change. I mean, like Stephen Harper and George Bush were in power for like most of my life at that point. When you think about it, right? 8 years and then 10 years for Harper. When I was that age, that's my whole adult life. That's all I know, right?
Jeez,
then you've got
Harper that long?
Harper was 10 years, man. He was a mission. Then you've got Trudeau. He's going to come up on 10 years in 2025. Remember, it's 2015. So he's going to come up on his 10 years. And it's like, there's got to be a point, though, where it's annoying seeing the same face, even if they're a great leader.
And I think also Trudeau's at that point, too, where he's annoying a lot of people in his party. It's because he's got that it's my way or the highway attitude. And I think that in a liberal party, I think that will rub a lot of people the wrong way. So I don't think he has 100% support in his party, even especially after that abysmal election in the fall, which was totally unnecessary.
Well, it was necessary. That was the smartest thing he could have done because it guaranteed him time till 2025. Like if he would have done this and let shit cool down, that really would have been a different result because then we would have been going into it level-headed. When we had that election, you've got COVID up the a-hole, separating people, protests left and right. Just because there were people protesting, there are certain people who guaranteed vote Liberal just because they don't like the protesters. And the protesters guaranteed hated everything to do with Liberal because the Liberals wouldn't let them protest. Like the divide was so insane that politically speaking, that was probably the smartest time to do it.
What happened with the bikers? Did they get the gavel lowered on them again too in Ottawa?
They were on their way to Ottawa. But
I think they got in and got out, didn't they? I mean, I heard
they were there for the weekend. It was really
Okay.
small. There were live streams.
Oh, so it was a road trip.
Yeah, I caught one of them. There was way more police than there were anything. Like there were 800 officers downtown. It looked mental, but yeah, it looked like a bit much given there were no vehicles and people just waving flags and stuff. I'll be honest, but that's how I felt last time too. It looked like a bit much, but yeah, no, that was over with in the weekend. It was done.
Yeah.
Now, one riot we're not hearing about was the Montreal Mayday parade. Now that's a leftist protest, so it's okay. So we don't talk exactly. Yeah, you haven't heard about it. So anyway, but you wouldn't. It's a left-wing protest, so you're not going to hear about it on the news. But they absolutely torched vehicles, lit shit on fire, destroyed the downtown core in Montreal for Mayday. That just happened a few days ago. That had violence, no police, 800 police for flag wavers. Just put that into perspective, right? That's why Elon Musk bought Twitter. Straight up, that's why Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Well, I don't know. Is that going to be a good thing or a bad thing, though, that Elon's in charge?
It's going to be an amazing thing, dude.
You think?
Free speech is free
You
speech.
think? Or you think you think that this is going to give him too much of a bloated head and he's just going to go off the deep end and become a total whack job?
He's not going to be the CEO of Twitter.
No, but I mean, with that much power and saying that he's done, I mean, just somehow he can always manipulate himself into.
That's the exact same argument.
That's his gift.
That's the exact same argument, though, that was used for him buying it. Was that they're just manipulating it to show XYZ, right? I truly believe that hate will be more prevalent on Twitter. Okay, That's free speech. That's free speech. You know how many people have hated me in my life? Get over it, right?
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of hate on Twitter, and I fully support that because that's free speech. You guys know where I fall on this. I think Twitter will be a better place. There's going to be more people to block. There's going to be more people to engage with, but there's going to be more opinions that I get to hear because it's not censored.
Do you think he has his sights set on putting Facebook out of business?
No. I don't think he gives a shit about Facebook.
No, I don't think he does either. I think he just, and the best thing is the first thing that we're getting is that edit button.
What's that? Well, sorry, what does that do?
Basically, once you compose a tweet and you hit publish, it'll give you about 2 minutes that you can pull it back and edit it in case you made a mistake or in case you change your mind.
Roseanne can use that right about now.
Who's that?
Roseanne could have used that right about now.
Why? What did she do something stupid again?
No, but what she did was done on Twitter back then, right? So.
Yeah.
Well, since Ryan told us about that riot in Montreal, at least this proves one thing to us.
Here it comes.
Montreal can have a riot that's not related to hockey.
Yeah.
Normally that's what it is.
Well, when they pass that bill, it'll be the Riot Act.
We'll have to set that to a tune and we'll call it a quiet riot.
Yeah,
I was just going to say there was a band called Quiet Riot. I never understood that name.
Well, that's what happened with Mimes Riot, right?
Yeah.
We should all end this right now, and Ryan will come back and go, "What the hell?"
Yeah, we just all everybody go away.
I should just take us all on. Watch this. I'm going to take us offline, put us in the green room, and see what he does.
That would actually be funny. Oh, it's too late. He's back.
What?
That would have been hilarious.
No, we were going to paint something on your wall. That's all.
Oh
no! He was saying that if he put us all in the green room and just left you here, you'd come back and you'd be the only one.
What the hell? I'm the only one here.
Can we put up Max's comment for 1 second? Or maybe not put it up actually, because it has a
Yeah.
word in it that you don't want to
Let's
put up.
talk
Yes,
about
I
that.
know.
Yeah, let's
Max
talk about
says, "Are death threats free speech on Twitter?" Death threats break
No.
the law, so that's not
Yeah.
free speech.
That's
So
not free
just want to
speech.
separate that, Max, because you're conflating two totally separate things, apples and oranges. One's against the law, one is guaranteed constitutionally in the States and by our Bill of Rights.
Right.
Charter.
And
You
Elon
you
did come out and say that free speech within the context of the law.
Well, because that's what free speech is always
Yeah.
within the context of the law.
Yeah.
And what's guaranteed by, again, our charter and Bill of Rights and their constitution, right?
Mhm.
So, Max, I wanted to clear that up because that is a very common thing used, and that argument holds no water.
Yeah,
Love
if
you,
you
Max.
don't like apples, you should be able to say, I hate apples. Plain and simple.
I
right?
like green apples, but red apples suck. I'll tell you right now.
Granny Smith apples are good, though. I like a sour apple.
No, the green apples are better, dude.
Granny Smith.
How the hell did we get on apples?
Oh, sorry, Tim. Tim wants to talk about bananas.
No,
Okay, sorry.
no,
The dad
no.
jokes
I
are
just wanted to get to the
bananas
core.
and
I just wanted to get to the
along.
core of the subject. That's all.
I got it. I don't know if they did, but
Ken had a
You're
mouthful.
so-
It's like,
You're a
Can't get
bastard,
more
dude.
of a banana.
The second you said that, I almost coughed it up, and I'm like, no, finish it.
I will
I know
not give
better
you
than
the-
to take a sip when.
I've had some dad jokes that have been so good that I laugh. And I look at Nancy and I read it to her. She goes, "You can't put that on." And it's like, I
You
know,
go,
but
dude.
holy, I can't.
What?
I can't.
Dude, you
because
made
I
a
know
joke
I
about
just
how to
don't want
kill
to
someone and
insult
bury
certain
them.
people.
You
That's
can
all.
definitely put it on.
I just, oh God, there's some, oh.
Well,
Anyway,
you know what the funniest joke in the world is, right? They had a big contest years ago, and they had everybody vote on the funniest joke on the entire planet. And it was a hunter joke. Basically, the joke was a guy was out hunting with his friend. There was an accident. And so he calls up 911. He says, oh my God, my friend is hurt. I think he's dead. And they're like, okay, you need to make sure. Then you hear bang. Okay, yeah, he's definitely dead. So apparently that's the funniest joke in the world.
That's the funniest joke in the world?
That's the one that got voted. That's the one that got voted.
ooh, well,
Well, what are you guys up to for the rest? Like, Tim, what are you up to for the rest of the week?
we are moving. We have moved. We were going to move the May 2-4 weekend, and
That's bad time.
someone just chimed in. Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
right.
me. It's me.
Okay.
It's because when I head out or whatever.
Yeah.
it's there for that.
No, so we were going to run the May 2-4. So last weekend, Nancy had this idea that because we got possession when we came back from Florida, and she says, let's rent a little panel van and go. Do you know how hard panel vans and moving vans are to get these days? We stood in line for a Home Depot panel van to come back an hour and a half before it was due back in hopes that we would be the first one to get it. We did. But in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, that was the only one available. So we are going to move the majority of our large stuff down. Nancy spent the whole day cleaning the bejesus out of it on Monday. And then that gives us 2 weekends to kind of move the other stuff around and down. We've got stuff for garage sale, we got stuff for storage, we got stuff that are giveaways and stuff like that. So that's what my weekend's going to entail. A 26-foot U-Haul.
Go to a dealership and just take a truck for a test drive or a van for a test drive. Bring it back when you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. But they only put enough gas in it to go around the block.
Well, that's.
You know how to use a gas
Are you
station.
that cheap? Are you that cheap? You're not paying for to rent the vehicle, right? Just throw your own gas in it. Fuck, give her a go.
So it's not the truck that costs the money. It's the mileage. 89 cents a click. Huh.
Oh, they charge you for taking it for a test drive?
No.
That's what I'm talking about.
No.
If I need some drywall and lumber, I'm going to my Ford dealership and I'm taking one of their trucks for a test drive.
Oh, you're a dick. You
pick up
are
my
the
shit.
biggest dick. I'll tell you right now, dude. You know what's
I gotta
funny?
make sure the tailgate works
Get
and
this.
everything. Yo.
Just so FYI, when I used to train people to deal with this, because I sold trucks out of my ass, okay? If that truck bed came back with dirt in it, bro, your credit card that you left for that test drive, $50 right off the bat. Right off the bat. You know how many people
See,
I've charged?
I've never had to leave a
seriously,
credit card for a test drive.
You don't leave a credit
Just my
card for a
license.
test?
Nope, just my license here in Ontario.
Well, then you did not have an aggressive enough sales guy. What's the difference if your credit card's left? It's for damages. Like, that's what I mean. I always took the credit card because, look, you're coming right back. I don't care. Leave it at my desk. I'm not going to touch it. You took the credit card, you take the license. And every time someone deceived me on one of those things, I'm like, what do you guys do? They're like, I got groceries. Okay, well, I charge you $50. I hate you. I hate you too. Go away. Like, literally. I used to do that every time.
And that was one weird thing because we used our RBC American Visa down in the States, and it's not like up here. They take your credit card away like they did in the old days. Like they take it away from the table, walk away, and run it. They don't bring the point of sale terminal to the table anymore down in the States. Not one place does it that way. You either pay at the counter, or if it's that type of establishment, they say credit card, they give you the bill chit, and they walk away and process it and then bring it back.
And people are saying, no, just a license here in BC. I know it's just a license. It's only required. It's that the salesperson was weak. If the salesperson was stronger, they should have had your credit card.
Well, the test drives of Teslas are going to come up as the cycling season gets back on because I like to sneak up on the little buggers.
The what, sir? I didn't hear anything you just said.
The Tesla's test drives are going to increase in the summer because the cycling season comes in and they like to sneak up on the little buggers that hog the road.
Did I just miss this dad joke, or am I?
They're electric and they don't make any sound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I missed that one. Yeah, they're quiet. Yes.
That joke's not up on
somebody's got it. So yeah, so I'm just waiting for the time that actually it's in prototype right now. That's a clamp that goes onto the fender of the Tesla, and you can put a hockey card in the spokes.
I used to do that.
So did I, man. So did I.
Oh man, we used to have closed pegs and hockey cards right down the forks of the whole bloody bike, man. It was how many cards could you get on there, right? And it was like, my God, that was a rookie card.
Dude, it would be hilarious if I saw a Tesla going down the street with a hockey card.
Well, that would be a great meme, wouldn't it?
Dude, it would be.
Bring back the 80s.
Holy banana bread.
Okay, I'm going to swap to this, okay? Okay, dude?
Yep.
Okay, that was a great swap.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, it looks like, that went really well. Oh, no, Tim's back.
Where'd he go?
Okay.
There he goes.
That was classic.
Yeah.
They're back.
I'm going to swap. Bye.
Wait.
Yeah, it's like I felt the vibrations of the square moving so fast.
This has been a... Sorry?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, this has been a very after-show-esque type of show.
Oh, I know.
No, I like it, though, because we were talking a lot about the economy. We're talking a lot about Roe, but, like, this has been a really... I'm vibing with this conversation.
Yeah.
I love your background, too. It's killing me, Candace. I need a green screen so bad.
That is, it's one of my favorite backgrounds, even though it's not. And you know what? The thing was that, Ken, when you were in school, did you learn more in history about the U.S. or Canada?
Oh, Canada. It was like all about the Trois Rivières and all the, all that early 1800 shit with
the Civil War and stuff like Candace. Were you mostly Canada in history classes?
Canada and English, a lot of English history.
Okay. Ryan?
I would say, and we all come from different generations, actually, so this is kind of an interesting question. I wish I learned more about Canadian history, but they focused almost exclusively on Native American history for me.
Wow.
Not a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what I was dealing with or whatever.
See, and when we were coming through the Appalachian, or is it the Appalachian Mountains? Through West Virginia, Pennsylvania, absolutely beautiful drive, just absolutely breathtaking. For those of you who haven't done it, there's a place in West Virginia. It's called New River Gorge or New River, and it's absolutely a destination for those who are outdoorsy people to drive. It's about a 10-hour drive. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Yeah. But I was going through there and I'm just looking at the beauty of the mountains. It's similar to, but not comparable to Whistler or Banff. Nothing is quite like that, but it gives you that vibe, right?
A lot more erosion.
Right. But I said to Nancy, I said, it just, how come, like, you see historical this, historical that, and you get a different vibe. I don't know about those of you who've been to the States. that are, you know, either on the
Mute.
cast tonight or whatever. But you get what, me?
No, me.
Ryan.
No, Tim, it's patriotism, bro. And there's something
No,
real
but
to be
it's
said
just
about
a
that.
different vibe you get when you get down there. And
But
I
they're-
said to
but
her, I
they're
said, I
cultural
learned
has-
more about the U.S. in history class
Yeah.
than I did about Canada. And I said, that's really a shame because we got some beautiful parts in Canada, but there's nothing exciting up there. I mean,
Well, you
go
remember
down
when
to Plymouth.
you remember when Justin Trudeau said, and this was probably one of the only things I agree with him on, but when he said that Canada is truly a melting pot and we have no Canadian identity, right? And when he said that, I'm like, I hate you for saying that, but it's absolutely true. When you go to America, you know they are Americans. They support their leaders. They support their historical figures. Everything is up front and center. Everyone knows the history of whatever. I mean, Stonewall Jackson. That's I mean, who in Canada even knows who the hell John A. Macdonald's following prime minister was? Does anyone know?
You're
I
not
mean,
going to
like-
know a lot of that now, Ryan, because they're changing the names of Ryerson. They're changing the names of
Yeah,
Sir
it's
John A.
bullshit.
Macdonald.
Dude, that is total BS,
They're just
bro.
changing Dundas Street in Toronto. They're changing the name
It's fucking
because
bullshit, dude.
Change history and make it softer.
that's changing history. I mean,
Yeah, you
art-
know what it is? It's like, if anything, you use it as a friggin' teaching point. Use
Yes,
it as a teaching
exactly.
point so that you can tell them, I mean, what are we going to do? Look, in 100 years from now, Justin Trudeau is going to be seen as a psychopath. In 500 years from now, that guy who thinks Justin's a psycho is going to think he's a psycho. I
Yeah.
mean, times change. Times change. To remove historical artifacts, or for instance, statues of John A. Macdonald, one, get fucked. Two, this is my country too. Like, I'm sorry I'm getting heated on this, but you're removing statues of George Washington in the United States, changing the names of schools. Ryerson has to change. Dundas, like you said. This is ridiculous. This is a part of our history. These are schools of, I mean, oh my God.
It's to remind us where we came from.
Exactly. And how much we've grown.
Yeah,
And
you
how-
don't want to get rid of that. Like,
I can see both sides, but it's also a reminder of the mistakes we made.
That's what I mean. It's
we need
a
to be
reminder of how
reminded of
far.
it so we don't go back to the old
Yeah,
way.
it's because this is how far we've come. This is how far we've come
Stepping stone. That's
since
a
that
stepping
guy.
One nice thing in Nova Scotia, we're not getting rid of any of all of the Acadian stuff. And we were absolutely horrible to the Acadians. So we had a group of French people in Nova Scotia called the Acadians, and we decided we didn't like them. So we tried to get rid of them out of the province. We would tar and feather them. We do all kinds of horrible things. So they eventually did. Most of them left the province and they went down and settled in Louisiana instead. That's why New Orleans has the French. They're all Nova Scotian French.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
true?
They
It's
came
all
from-
French, bro.
Yeah.
Even to this day. If you go to Louisiana to this
Oh.
day, odds are 1 in 5 people will speak fluent French to you. And I mean fluent.
Yeah.
Like more than Quebec. Not more. I shouldn't say that.
Okay,
but-
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Interesting.
They were Nova Scotians. We got rid of them. But
Really?
we still remember all of that heritage, you know, because I mean, and we were horrible. Like when I say tar and feather, I mean poured actual hot tar on them and poured
Ugh.
feathers on them. That's what we used to do to them.
Ugh.
So, you know,
And you know what the thing is though too? Like we're banishing all these leaders, but even Pierre Trudeau had something to do with residential schools. But we can't banish him because his son's in office. So we have to wait. It's like there's all these contradictions that don't make sense to me. And I wish that this is why I love Alberta so much, is because everyone in Alberta is happy to be Albertan. We know Alberta stuff. Like in Ontario, it's so fluid. You're kind of just a resident of the land. Like there's no pride. In
So-
America, it's so proud.
So you know, if Tim Perry had his druthers, he'd be out in the middle of nowhere with 100 acres and he'd be self-sufficient, blah, blah, blah. We were talking to someone else in the States, and it's interesting that when you have certain conversations and they say how discouraged they are with the way the world is now, how they want to do sort of a Tim Perry idea. Well, the guy that we rented the condo from, I believe, eventually wants a piece of land out in Saskatchewan, of all places, and to become self-sufficient and just get away from the whole rat race.
mhm.
They said there's rats out there, though.
Yeah, apparently, but hopefully they understand the amount of coal they're looking for.
Oh,
Saskatchewan
ridiculous.
truly is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in this country if you respect solace and peace. There's nobody around. And I mean nobody. Get this, there's either just below or just over 1 million people in that entire freaking province. There's nobody. And it's
Ooh. I
sorry,
got a question. What relevance does the 39th parallel play in the United States, if any?
I don't know. Is that
We passed it in going and coming. We passed it, and it was like one of these, I don't know if historic sign or a marker saying 39th parallel, blah 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 blah
Was that
blah.
where
And
the
I'm like,
Mason-Dixon line was?
that far north?
could the 39th parallel be where the parallel is from the most of the Canadian border?
No, that's a higher
Oh.
higher
Oh,
number.
I don't know. I
That's
don't know.
like
Yeah.
the 59th,
I don't know,
thought.
and I meant to Google it, and it just came to mind because it's
Jill.
that time of the night.
Jill,
Yeah,
Google it. We need Jill ASAP.
Yeah. I don't know. It's got some crazy information down there. It's just got some. What's that?
Yeah, that is the Mason-Dixon line. I was right. I just
The
Googled it.
39th, and where is it though?
Well, it's on the
state?
39th
No, what state?
parallel. It doesn't say exactly where it is, but I mean, part of it's in Pennsylvania,
There you go.
Maryland. So yeah, but that's the line that if you could get across it, you were no longer a slave.
Oh,
Okay.
That's what that was all about. Because they used to
So
have
that's why
tunnels
she
to
let
get
me
people
drive.
past the Mason-Dixon line because slavery was legal in the South and it was
okay.
illegal in the North. So that was
How
freedom.
interesting!
That is interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's down in Florida. We went to Lake Placid, which is inland and further south. And do you guys know what love bugs are?
No.
Heard of them.
Well, think about your worst case scenario, Ryan, driving in the summer, spring, fall, whatever, at night in a buggy area up north, whatever the case is. For Candace, if you can relate to it or whatever, and you think that you know how the bugs get bad, that it will sometimes set off your automated wipers.
Oh my God.
These love bugs are two at a time together, and you can see them coming 200 feet away.
And don't they make a big splack when they hit your window?
Splat. I could not turn my wipers on, or else it would have made my whole windshield look like I'd been whitewashed.
Yeah.
I was incredible, these bugs. And it's just like, how do these people drive this corridor and they're all covered in it? And not one service station had the squeegee thing that was full of clean.
Maybe there's something you can spray to dissolve the goo.
Well, apparently, before you do this, true fact is you're supposed to wet a dryer sheet and wipe your windshield and your hood and your A-pillars down.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Swear to God.
Okay. Bugs must
Swear
be
to
that
God.
bad. Holy crap.
Well,
Plus,
they're
it
bad.
helps prevent static.
Well, they bounce off.
Hi, nice.
You see, right? It's like,
Nice rebound on that one.
That was good thinking. That was fast.
yeah, well, you know, 'tis the season. Hey, where the hell did Ken go?
Nobody knows.
He's
He
a
doesn't
smoking
know.
oracle right now.
I don't know. He's been under the weather the last couple of days.
It's hard to say.
He's been under the weather. We've had a lot of people around us go down with the sickness.
Still?
Oh yeah. Yeah, these people were uber careful, and it's like, well, what was it they said in Quebec that this is the most transmittable variant. However, it's not anywhere near the ramifications of anything else. It's a cold. Basically, everyone we've spoken to, it's a cold. And the worst thing of it is the headache, apparently, that goes with it.
Yeah. See,
if you get that.
I don't even want to get a cold. So right now, until this thing is gone, I'll throw my mask on if I'm going over to the store. Why not?
My whole family just got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Plus,
bet.
I don't have to put makeup on, and it saves me some money. So it's like, oh, wearing the mask is cheaper.
Do you guys still have the mask thing going on in Ontario?
No, but
yes, we do.
interesting.
For medical areas, we do.
Well, for medical areas and on buses, but that I think ends at I think that ended around the
No.
27th. Oh.
No, it got extended.
Oh, they
It
extended
extended.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Long-term care, health, doctors' offices, walk-in clinics.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one of the
airports.
interesting things going out, going over to like the Walmart, for example, with my mask. I'd say about 50% of the people shopping are still wearing their masks right now.
Given the
Really?
environment that Ontario's in, though, that doesn't surprise me. What should shock you is that Ontario's got 90% triple or 90% double vaxxed, roughly 50% triple vaxxed, right? Why are only half the people wearing masks? Obviously, the masking thing isn't being sold anymore, right? Like, because what it's saying is that every unvaxxed person doesn't have a mask on, and then most vaccinated are taking them off too. Or not most, I should say maybe a third or whatever. You do the math, right? But it's like, I would say this, Candace, the mask thing in Calgary, when we lifted everything, whatever it was about 50-50. But it took, honestly, maybe a month or two. Like when my mom was here, she felt embarrassed because there was nobody with a mask on. And I felt embarrassed too because people were looking like, whoa, we're past it. And like, whatever. My mom just wants to wear a mask. She feels, and that's cool. You know, it's not like me, but that's cool. But she felt like uncomfortable. I'd be willing to bet that in Ontario pretty soon, I mean, summer's going to really have an impact where I think you're going to see a lot of masks start dropping off. Yeah. And then the true test of the believers are going to be what you're going to see of winter in winter of 2022. That's when you're not under mandate, and that'll be the true test.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the other thing too is with wearing a mask right now is, I normally wear a hood and mask, and my mask is black. I feel very like a ninja, so it's kind of the inner ninja of me loves it. It's like,
I seen a family walking down the street today, husband and wife and 2 kids, and they all had masks on walking down the street.
Well, look, I might think it's stupid, but I'm not going to insult them or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
It blew my mind when I was on the top of a fucking mountain. Okay. I'm 8,000 feet in the sky. Okay. There's 7 people there. This whole family is fidgeting with their masks, trying to get their mask on the peak of the mountain for the picture they're going to take. I'm like, oh, kill me now, kill me now, kill me now. It made me just so confused with the logic of it. They're on but
yeah, we still wear masks. If the customer requires it from us, we have no problem. We'll wear a mask for them. It makes them more comfortable. That so be it,
But don't you work outdoors?
Yeah.
So you hold on. You actually have customers telling you to wear a mask outdoors while you're sucking shit out of a bin?
Yep. It's normally when we're delivering a toilet because they're there with us, kind of thing, so.
But I mean, honestly, doesn't the mask at least help with that smell?
True that, dude. Yeah, true that.
Not unless you got the carbon activated filter in it.
Yes.
Get that.
The good old carbon filter.
Yeah.
The big daddy.
But yeah, I've been feeling under the weather the last 2 days. I feel okay now. I don't think it was COVID.
Have you heard that study that said that a lot of people are getting gastrointestinal problems and stuff like that with this new variant?
Yeah.
So if you Googled gastrointestinal COVID, you'll find all this stuff about it. So everyone, I mean, my brother, my father, my mother, all of them got COVID. Okay. And they all reported the same thing. They were all feeling like crap for about 2 to 3 days. I probably got COVID because I was feeling like crap. But one thing I noticed is that the gastrointestinal thing, very real. Has anyone felt those symptoms in the last 2 to 3 weeks without getting into detail? No, because everyone I know has felt the exact, and it was weird, bloaty, if you know what I mean, without going further.
So in other words, the new symptom for COVID is farting.
Basically. I didn't want to go there and say that, but yeah. No, but seriously, look it up. I'm not even screwing with you guys. This has been a widespread symptom.
Well,
it's been pretty crazy.
Well, that's what the new federal shirts are for the progressive conservatives, right?
What, farting?
No, don't trust a fart. Vote PC.
Oh.
Don't trust a fart to vote PC. Okay.
Never trust a fart again.
I
I don't. The Liberals have like no seats in Ontario, so they're bound to get some back.
Oh,
They
that's
have
a
like
good one. No
7
seats
seats.
and farting.
I just can't wait for me to go to a store someday and have somebody at the front say, have you farted in the last couple of days? And I'll be like, no, would you like to smell my butt?
Well, they're now
Have
going to
you
mail out
farted?
fart samples, right? So you have to fart into a bottle, put it in,
Yeah.
and then send it back in for analysis.
Telling you guys, I'm not making this up. Okay, someone Google it. So I'm freaking no.
Oh,
well,
no,
you
the
don't have.
camera on this will go a long way.
Gas prices.
I'll tell you what, though. Quite honestly, if that's the worst COVID is, it's like serious gas for like a week. Look, let's just all get it over with and move on here. Like, let's all go.
I can just see a crowd of people in the elevator when one person farts. Everyone.
Can you
gets off
imagine
to
the
next
shorts coming
floor.
out with blue flames and blue darts?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And then you get that flick. Then you get that flicker in the dart and go, "Oops, chunky time."
Oh dear.
Oh man. Well, it sure wouldn't have went here if Nancy was here. Let me tell you.
Well,
Thanks,
you
Nancy.
know,
I
that's what you
Jim,
get
you're
for
kinda
leaving it up
getting
to the
that
husband to run
age
the
where
show,
you have
right?
to sort of guess whether it's a fart or not each time.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Well, we do get 2 pairs of coveralls at work, so you know.
Do you really?
This
Yeah.
is slowly turning into Ken's show.
Just in case you get, something happens, your hose explodes or something like that, you can change.
Yeah.
And then we got a shower back at the shop.
Yeah, but what if you're 3 hours away?
Roll down
Right,
the
put the windows down?
window.
Oh my God. Ew.
Let me just tell you, you'd have to be an idiot to get soaked in. Yeah, you'd have to be an idiot.
Has it
Just an
happened to
absolute
you?
idiot. No, but it's happened to people I work with. Yep, they go to put the wand. They go to put the
You know
wand into
what?
the toilet,
This-
and they think they have it on suck, but they actually have it on blow. So when they open it up, it blows air into it, and it just goes.
Oh, wow.
That this is an Andrew story.
Oh dear.
This is Andrew. This is I could
happened.
just see Andrew doing something going, what the hell? Oh, I'm joking, Andrew.
Yeah.
And it's somebody that I train too. And the first thing that I teach them when we're looking at all the valves and everything, I'm like, okay, so you make sure that this one's shut, this one's open, and you make sure that it's pushed in for suck, not out for blow. You only need it out on blow for the water.
Maybe the next time you teach someone, go over that part twice.
No, you know what? Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. In 2 to 10 years, the business owner will no longer have suck blow. It'll be a picture of a guy smiling and a picture of a guy covered in shit. That's what they should do. Do you want to be the guy covered in poo? Don't flick it that way then.
In the
Flick it
States,
to the smiling guy.
in the
No,
States,
it's going
they
to
have-
be.
Well, no, in the States, they have trucks that your wand actually has your water hose attached to it. So you can actually suck it up and then you flick a switch on the handle and it'll blow out clean water to
Oh.
refill the toilet.
But is it
Where
from?
right now we did
Is it
separate.
going through the same thing, nozzle? Because
No,
how can that be?
It goes out a different thing.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Things. There's lots of things.
It's in the proximity.
I'm just wondering how they fill the sinks with that damn thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Ew, you made me sick.
They do the sinks
I've
first.
used those sinks.
Maybe. Dude,
Candace-
never use the sinks. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sinks.
It's like
sinks are
whatever you
full of
do.
bugs. Those sinks are so full of bugs. It's not even
Well,
funny.
and this was the other thing. And Candace, I'm sorry, I mean no disrespect. What the hell is it with the States and their placement of urinals? They're at my knees. And it's like, this isn't going to work.
Made in China.
Those are accessible urinals for people who are height.
I get that, but every freaking toilet, every freaking washroom, it's like, and I come out and it's like,
easy. Just bring
Nancy
new
goes,
pads.
what the hell did you do? And I said,
Made a mess.
I said, I bumped my head.
Yeah.
I mean, could you just kneel and do it?
What?
Oh yeah, Candace, I'm going to go into a male's washroom and kneel.
My dog.
You
My dog.
open that? Not a chance. Yeah, you could just say, "Huh, what's the matter with Tim? You know, why has he got a black eye?"
I was
The biker shot him in the face.
In West Virginia. Yeah, that's him.
You got a pretty mouth, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that was hilarious. We're in West Virginia and we're listening to 70s on 7 and Sirius XM. and the Deliverance soundtrack comes on. Well, it had to be there. It was funny.
Puts you in the mood, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it makes you not want to go to the
Driving
washroom.
70, all of a sudden I was driving 90.
Yeah. What was that in the tree?
That's hilarious.
Anyway, folks, we're going to wind this down. Candice, you have moved your Saturday night show to a Sunday night, Sunday afternoon.
I've completely changed the format.
Yeah.
So it's still live, but it's not like a live guest and talk show. It's more or less, let's just go over some news, discuss it with everybody. So, it's still being tinkered with each week. Like, last week it's like people weren't talking that much, so I got through my content really fast. So now it's like, okay, I better bring a fourth piece with me every week just to have a backup piece of content.
Right.
Right. But no, I think it's fantastic. It's kind of a neat little different thing because right now we have a lot of people just sitting around talking shows.
Yep.
So
yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Sunday. Anyway, check it out, people. It's Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow I got my deep dive on Enbridge, which is kind of cool. We're going to look at some really interesting things with them. So you may want to check that out too.
We're heavy in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're heavy into that. And I liked your 10 top picks. Was Monday? Was that it? Monday?
That was Monday. And next Monday is my 10 top picks as well, but the American ones.
The American ones, okay.
And then if you remember, Ryan last week was saying I should put do some kind of a tracking. I'm going to track the Canadian versus the American for a year.
Yep.
And we're going to see who wins.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be kind of fun.
What does your gut tell you?
I won't know until I've put together my American team. I've got a few members already, but basically once today and the editing on tomorrow's video is done, I'm now full gear for the news show and that, so I can start doing research over the next few days.
One thing to pre-text it with, I would make sure to if you're going to make predictions, I would make sure to let them know it's in the time frame of 1 year.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, American stocks in 1 year may actually underperform Canadian, whereas if that happens, but in like 2 or 3, could like significantly outperform. Time frame, though, I would just put time frame in there.
The whole thing at the end of the year, if everybody really loves this, I can even say, do you guys want me to continue?
You'll continue it. We already know it's going to be something you want to continue. The amount of stuff, and I hope you're picking different sectors too, because then this is a learning tool for people. You know what I mean? There you go. It's pure. I saw the Canadian one. I'm just hoping for the American too. Like, it's a pure learning tool to see how these react in one of the most unique market times I've seen in my life. I don't know about anyone else, but so it's unique.
You could call them Olympics.
Oh,
yeah, the Olympics.
I need a gong.
So that's good, and that's on Mountain Finance, right? Your channel, and it's always good. I always I tune into both of your channels, and Ken, I just get popcorn for yours. Popcorn, a pillow, and an alarm clock. Ken, you finally went over your record of 10 hours and
1 minute and 40 something seconds. Yeah,
it was over 10 hours though. I was tired, man.
I bet. Holy crap!
PM. So, but we're gonna probably see a lot of new faces coming on my show in the next few weeks. So
nice, yeah. Because I saw, man, you had a full we were in the car, we popped in, and then when we got home, your screen was filled with Nay, and I think Chef, and I don't know if Jordan was on.
Jordan was on, yeah.
And Ryan wasn't on.
I came on maybe 6 or 7 hours into it.
Did you? Okay, yeah. Which is because that's why we didn't pop on. It was just too many people on there, and I think you're only allowed 6, right?
10.
Oh, 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It gets stupid though, Ken. You know this. It gets stupid when you cannot hear anyone talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gets a bit much.
I got to work on that if I'm going to have that many guests on at one
And that
time.
was sort of Friday, because I stopped in Friday. I was going to drop on, but there was you had a whole crap load of people. I was like, okay, yeah, he's good.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, no, I'll have some more new faces.
Normally my role was to come on at the beginning when you had nobody, and then you had someone to talk to. And
who is the big Is who's the other guy there that I see on your cast there? Is he from America?
The big guy,
The big guy.
the big dick, or whatever he's calling himself.
It's
Yeah,
like he's
We're
got
live,
the southern.
Brad.
He's got the
We're
southern
live.
drawl. Who is that?
yeah, that's Killer GB,
Okay. Where's he?
Missouri, I think it is.
Oh, okay. Yep. He seems like a good guy.
He's
Yeah,
a
well,
nice guy.
Yeah, he's been on the last 2
Yeah.
weekends because his dad's fishing. Other than that, his dad watches TV in the same room as his computer setup.
Oh.
We get interference, so
Oh dear.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
because
often.
didn't he excuse himself and have to bring the chickens in or something? Wasn't there someone that got up and said, "I got to bring my chickens in"? And I'm like, "What?"
Oh, wait a minute. That was
Remember?
Oh
Was
yeah,
that-
that was Hordog. That was Hordog. He's from Ohio.
Who's Hordog?
That was
never
him.
heard-
He owns
From
chickens.
Ohio. Yeah, that's Hordog. He's got like no hair. He's got a shaved head kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's Hordog. Yeah, he's from Ohio.
Chickens.
He's in Ohio.
That's hilarious.
When in Ohio, I guess, Idaho's
Yeah.
got potatoes. Ohio's got chickens, I guess. I don't know.
Okie dokie. Well, you know.
Hey, can I
Ryan,
get
what-
just a quick update to my channel?
Yes,
I
so
was
just
supposed to
going
have
you next.
two interviews at the end of April. One with a professor, one with a CBC guy. CBC guy is not getting back to me. I think it's kibosh. Professor postponed. They just moved to Malta. They're getting settled. That is going to happen. Market closes are back now that I no longer need tax money. So my schedule's freed up. So we're ready to rock and roll. Yesterday was the last day I closed a deal where I'm bank now. I don't know if anyone could tell with my attitude today. It's just up in the air because I'm just better. Owing money to taxes sucks. But anyway, feeling better. So we're going to rock and roll with that. We floated an idea with two crazy cats, and I was going to message you, Tim, on this too. But for a foursome type finance channel, but whatever, but SM Diecast, Next Level Tech, who's already got a massive platform, which I didn't even know of. And you guys know Next Level Tech. He comments all the time, right? So I didn't even know this. He's got a massive platform, bouncing ideas off with newbies in the channel, just like how Ken has new people on. Plus, I think each and every one of us is going to be excited the day that we get SM, that young firecracker, on the channel, and we can absolutely just stoke this guy up.
What's holding him back?
He's shy. That's okay.
Is he? Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
He said that he got his YouTube channel started. He said today he's just got to get a little bit prepped on the camera. Dude, each and every one of us was a little bit shy when we got going. That's cool.
Yeah.
But he is a firecracker of a kid. And that is the highlight of my day today, is that he's rocking and roll, just like Candace. I mean, everyone here is starting their own gig. SM is now the next guy. Dan, as in Redbeard, he's got over 250 subs. He's killing it. We got Journey on his journey, so to speak. But I mean, SM is the new guy, and the professor is going to be epic. I think CBC's canceled that guy. He's not responding to me. And I think that SM Diecast is going to be an amazing opportunity to meet that cat. But anyway, that's all coming up in the next little while. So I'm pretty psyched about it. I'm psyched about it. Yeah.
Yep. No, that's good. That's good. And yeah, as I say, we're just I'm putting out my short videos. I'm on I think it's at Timmer Danter, or it's on TikTok and on Instagram, or Instagram. Yeah, Instagram. So you get the daily dad jokes there and stuff like that. And we'll
Dude, your daily dad jokes kill me. Please never stop them. Ever.
Oh, good.
Dude, they kill me. When I heard you, I
What's
love
that?
them.
Yeah, those dad jokes will get you to 1,000.
Yeah, I'll have to talk offline with you more about how, because something's not jiving. I'm doing something wrong, and I look at Nate's stuff, and it's like, that guy is on fire.
Dude,
like, he's
you know
just
what a
on
big
fire.
problem is? I can tell you straight up right now, because Candace might say this, might not. I can just tell you right now and I'm not even making stuff right now, but I still get all the analytics. Flat out, bro, it's because we're branding ourselves here as a crypto night in Canada. We haven't mentioned it once. Your shorts have not mentioned crypto once. You're tagged to crypto. This is your whole channel, right? Dude, I think you've got to start aligning your keywords more effectively and start, like, Candace is killing your keywords. Go look at, you got TubeBuddy and all that stuff. I would go annihilate that, but I think there's a branding thing, bro. That's all I think it is, because, like, your dad jokes make me crack up. But if I'm looking for Bitcoin stuff, this is nonsense to me, literally.
See, what I would almost do with this channel is rebrand it something along the lines of a life and finance channel, because then you can talk about crypto, you can talk about finance.
That makes that is such a good idea, because then it can encapsulate videos like tonight where we go on finance, but just regular life talk, whatever. Because when you tagging yourself to a crypto branded channel, you're not going to get the traffic that me and Candace get regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
2, we have videos and shorts that have nothing to do with crypto for like 2-3 months now, right? Mm-hmm. So you're attracting crypto people who don't hear about crypto. So it's like rebranding it to what Candace just said is very, in my opinion, exactly what I would do.
The channel is actually Tim and Nancy Danter.
That doesn't matter, bro. It's not about the name. Like, I can still, for instance, if you search financial brew, Candace is the one who still comes up. So it's not necessarily about the channel name. It's all the keywords associated with
not
it.
even
So
financial brew anymore.
And that's it, but you'll still come up though. It's like, so that's the channel name means virtually nothing. The only reason I picked Hi Rye was because it was easy, and every time someone commented to me, it started with Hi Rye and then their comment. I thought it sounded pleasant. That is the only reason I picked that name. Literally. And Tim and Nancy Danter, you can keep it as that, but you can or brand it to something. Your issue is that you're branding every video as Crypto Night in Canada. You know what I mean? So like the algorithm.
My shorts aren't coming through as that though.
No, but then your shorts are going to a Crypto Night in Canada audience that's being dragged to you through crypto tags and keywords, right? So it's like you're almost targeting the wrong person. And the fact that you're getting subs, can you imagine how many subs you would get if you were just a generalized channel, a generalized financial journey channel? We shoot the shit sometimes when we blast. I mean, Candace had a really great point of rebranding. I 100% agree. You have to rebrand it.
Well, we
don't talk about crypto.
Yeah, we had thrown around years ago a title called the Dant Rant or Danter Banter.
Banter you had. Yeah. Or I don't know.
But I don't know. That's got to be a decision by someone else. You know what I mean?
Well, you've got somebody in the comments, Mikey. He said he's new to the channel and he thought that this channel was only about crypto.
Mikey, surprise!
It's
not Mikey. Mikey, it is. I mean, you get bits and pieces of crypto, Mikey, from Candace's Mountain Financial, from Ken. You get a lot from Ken where he gets into his streams at the beginning of a Friday night or a Saturday night with his TA on his coins and stuff. And of course, Ryan on the Hi Rye channel gets into mostly stocks. Yeah, mostly stocks, but we'll touch on crypto every once in a while. But he is mostly the stock guy, Mikey. And Candace is stocks as well and financial planning. So
I would say mine's about 85% stocks.
Yeah.
Let me give a shout out here to Mikey. He's a channel member of mine. If you're not as much into crypto, broski, Candace is another channel to follow. Absolutely. And she's obviously up here. Again, channel member Mikey, you're valued always, my friend. But Mike, I'm glad you. By the way, are you guys not noticing a lot of my channel members are starting to pop over here? I'm starting to try my ass off to pump this.
No, it's good, and I appreciate it.
But this is the thing. I've started to realize, like, because Candace. Well, let's go off. We already said our thing. Or are we ending it now? Or
never mind. We don't leave the entire audience in suspense. But
Mikey, you got to tune in to me on TikTok or whatever if you want some good dad jokes too, buddy.
Dude, the dad jokes are worth it, Mike. I'm telling you.
Anyway, folks,
if you just want a good time on the weekend, check out my channel, The Freaking Oracle. You'll have a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you will.
And then when you want to be responsible, come back to mine.
We've dropped the banana leatherhead lately, but maybe one day that will be revived. One day we can bring that back.
There is different values we all bring to this community, and
that's what makes this community amazing.
But that's what makes this community such a big bang for your buck.
Yeah.
No, it's because we are so
you
different.
You can't get it anywhere else, and it's all Canadian.
It's 100% fact is that everyone in this room is so different from the other person. And I mean, every one of us is uniquely different. You know how we're a Foursquare here? This is literally what it would be like if we were represented based on ideology and stuff. This square almost perfectly. So straight up, folks, come here for the diverse opinions. Always be respectful. So will we. Hit like if you haven't already, because if you haven't, you're being rude. And if you haven't subscribed, you're missing out to Tim and Nancy's channel. So let's do it. Let's rock and roll. And this on a high note, everyone hit the like button right now.
Night all.
Good night, everybody.